For anyone trying to keep up with the digital world, I mean, the speed of cybersecurity news is just relentless, isn't it?
It really is.
Yeah.
Feels like every day there's a new threat, a new defense. Hard to filter.
Exactly. Headlines everywhere. But how do you make sense of it all? And, more importantly, figure out what you can actually do.
That's the core challenge, right? It's not just knowing what's happening, but understanding the bigger picture behind it, getting past the headlines.
Right. So today we're doing one of our deep dives. We're unpacking the latest cybersecurity developments. We've gone through a whole stack of reports to pull out the critical insights for you.
Looking at what they mean and, yeah, what practical steps might be needed.
We've got quite a range today. Everything from serious national security warnings coming out of India to big strategic moves at tech companies like Microsoft and Oracle.
And even emergency alerts from Google that literally affect billions of people.
Yeah, billions. So we're covering the landscape from, let's say, the geopolitical level right down to the device you might be holding right now.
Our goal really is to cut through that noise, find the maybe surprising details, and give you a shortcut to being properly informed about this digital battleground.
Okay, so let's kick things off at that national security level. There's been a pretty significant alert coming from cyber experts in India. This was at a seminar by the Uttar Pradesh Institute of Forensic Sciences.
Yes, and what's really striking about this one, I think, isn't just the warning itself, but how direct it is.
How so?
Well, it's an explicit caution about, quote, increasing intrusions from China and Pakistan. They're urging India to really ramp up its digital security infrastructure, and fast.
So not subtle at all.
No, not subtle. It really shows how cyber capabilities are being, well, openly used by nation states now. It's forcing countries like India to fundamentally rethink their digital sovereignty.
And moving beyond just buying solutions, maybe?
Exactly, moving towards cultivating their own resilience from the ground up.
And we're not just talking theoretical risks here. Principal Secretary Brajesh Singh, he's from Maharashtra, he really laid out the real-world impact.
Yeah, he gave some stark examples.
He mentioned the Hezbollah pager attack and, maybe even more impactful, a malware strike that shut down India's largest port for 3 months.
3 months. That's not just, a data leak. That's a massive economic and societal disruption. Huge ripple effects.
Right. It just shows how even seemingly small cyber incidents can cause these enormous problems way beyond the initial target.
Absolutely. And it raises that key question.
Yeah.
Can any single nation really handle this alone?
Yeah.
Singh was clear that, old policing methods aren't enough. He stressed international cooperation.
Did he give an example?
He pointed to Lockbit, breaking that ransomware group, which was causing chaos globally, especially with critical infrastructure. Well, it took a combined effort. 11 countries working together.
11 countries. Yeah.
Yeah. So that kind of collaborative model is, well, essential now.
And Singh also talked about specific measures needed, right?
Yeah.
Pretty robust ones.
And he did. Things like real-time crisis mapping, having proper chain of custody protocols for digital evidence.
Important for prosecution.
Crucial. Also tracking illicit money, through blockchain and crypto wallets, seizing the criminals' infrastructure, and providing quick help to victims.
Makes sense. But he also had that metaphor, didn't it? The one that really stuck with me.
Ah, yes. The agriculture one. He said cybersecurity was like agriculture. It cannot be imported. It must be cultivated within the country.
That really captures it, I think.
It's very insightful. It speaks to the need for a foundational, long-term, homegrown commitment. Developing your own capabilities, your own resilience. Not just relying on outside fixes for what's fundamentally an internal systemic issue. It needs constant work, constant nurturing.
So while India focuses on cultivating that internal strength, it's also useful to see the history here. How did we get to this point? We heard from cyber expert Robbie Abraham in Australia on this.
Right. Abraham gave that historical perspective. He reminded us about the early days, things like the I love you worm.
Oh, I remember that one.
Caused billions in losses. And then Configure, which hit something like 190 countries. His point was tracing that evolution.
From those broad, almost scattergun attacks.
To today's much more sophisticated ransomware and highly targeted phishing intrusions. Now, it's not just about causing disruption. Attackers are aiming for specific high-value stuff.
Like what kind of stuff?
Browsing data, crypto wallets, confidential corporate information. Hackers are increasingly focused on logging keystrokes, stealing credentials, and then selling that stolen data on the dark web.
So much more surgical, much more profit-driven.
Exactly.
So faced with these more advanced threats, what was Abraham's advice for, regular users?
He really hammered home the basics, the preventive stuff. Regular security training, making sure you actually use decent antivirus software, and just being way more cautious with emails and messages.
Digital hygiene, essentially.
Pretty much. Building strong, consistent habits. Because honestly, those basic steps, if done consistently, can stop a lot of these modern threats before they even get a foothold on your personal devices.
Okay, so we've looked at the nation-state level. But these tensions, this balancing act between global cooperation and ongoing threats, that plays out inside big corporations too.
Definitely. Which brings us to that significant move by Microsoft. It really throws this delicate balance into sharp relief.
What exactly happened there?
Well, Microsoft has scaled back how much some Chinese companies can participate in its early warning program for cybersecurity threats. It's called MAPP, the Microsoft Active Protections Program.
Okay, scaling back participation. Why?
It's directly tied to growing worries that sensitive vulnerability information shared within that program might have been misused, specifically in recent hacking attempts targeting Microsoft SharePoint servers.
SharePoint, that's huge. So many organizations rely on that.
Exactly. It's the backbone for document sharing internal sites, a major target. So this isn't a minor concern.
And there was a specific timeline that raised red flags, wasn't there?
Yes, that's what really fueled the suspicion. Microsoft shared details of SharePoint flaws with its MAPP partners on June 24th, July 3rd, and July 7th.
Ugh.
Then, actual attempts to exploit those flaws were detected on July 7th, the same day as the final notification.
Wow, okay. That does sound suspicious.
It makes insider misuse seem, well, highly likely. But the bigger insight here, I think, is a massive dilemma this creates. How do you maintain vital global collaboration on cyber defense?
Which we just said is crucial.
Right, without opening the door for that trust to be broken, potentially creating new attack vectors, especially when state-linked groups are often suspected in these kinds of attacks.
It's a real tightrope walk. So what did Microsoft actually do? Did they kick them out entirely?
Not entirely, but they restricted several Chinese firms from receiving what's called proof of concept code.
Explain that a bit.
Sure, it's basically sample code that demonstrates how a vulnerability could be exploited. Defenders use it to test their systems and build defenses quickly.
Yet attackers could use it too.
Precisely. It can be weaponized just as easily to speed up attacks. So Microsoft cut off access to that specific sensitive code for certain partners.
And you're right, that must create tension. It kind of undermines the collaborative spirit, even if it's necessary.
It absolutely does. It shows the difficult paths these global tech companies have to tread trying to maintain trust while also securing their products, especially when geopolitics and state actors get involved. Microsoft did say they're constantly monitoring MAPP partners and enforcing contracts that forbid offensive cyber operations.
Okay, so while the tech giants are wrestling with these huge strategic issues, vulnerabilities can hit really close to home for all of us.
Definitely.
And on that note, there's an immediate emergency alert from Google. This is one that could affect you directly listening right now on your phone, tablet, computer.
Yeah, this is a big one. It affects billions. Google put out an alert for a high-severity flaw in the Chrome browser. It's a memory corruption issue.
What's the danger there? Memory corruption sounds bad.
It is. It could let scammers basically crash your Chrome browser, just cause chaos.
Yeah.
But worse, potentially, hackers could overwrite critical data in memory,
Which means...
which could lead to them running their own malicious code on your system. Arbitrary code execution. That's serious.
Okay, so what's the call to action? What should people do?
It's very clear. Anyone using Chrome needs to update immediately, like right now. Go to your Chrome setting. You can usually type chrome.settingshelp into the address bar.
Chrome.settingshelp. Got it.
Yeah, your browser should then automatically check for updates and install them. Don't delay on this one.
Definitely sounds urgent. But what's also really interesting here is how they found this bug. It wasn't just a person finding it, was it?
No, and this is fascinating. The bug was actually detected back on August 4th by Google using, get this, AI.
AI found the bug.
Yes. They used an AI tool called Big Sleep, which they developed with Google DeepMind and their elite security team, Project Zero.
Big sleep. Okay.
And this tool didn't just find this one major flaw. It apparently found another 20 flaws across different widely used open source projects.
Wow. So AI is now hunting for vulnerabilities.
It seems like it. This really signals a potentially huge shift in how vulnerabilities are discovered. It's like a new frontier in automated bug hunting.
What does that mean, big picture? Does it speed things up?
Massively. If AI can find flaws this quickly and at this scale, it puts immense pressure on everyone. Defenders have to patch faster, and attackers might try to leverage AI too. It forces us to rethink how we even approach security.
So is this AI taking over from human security researchers?
Not necessarily taking over, but changing the role. Google's been careful to say that humans always oversee the findings. They validate what the AI finds before any action is taken.
So it's a tool augmenting human experts.
Exactly. It likely frees up the human researchers to focus on more complex strategic issues, analyzing broader attack patterns, developing new defense concepts, rather than just hunting for individual bugs one by one. The AI handles some of the grunt work, maybe?
That makes sense. Now, this crime alert didn't come in isolation. There was another warning around the same time about phishing, right? That old classic.
Yeah, the old threats are still very much alive, just evolving. The latest is that online scammers now seem to prefer sending malicious links rather than infected attachments.
Links instead of files. Why the shift?
Maybe harder to detect sometimes. Anyway, the scale is huge, Vant. Reports mention over 3 billion attacks using dodgy URLs being sent out.
3 billion.
Uh,
And the goal is still the same old thing.
Pretty much. Steal passwords, get access to your accounts. That remains the primary objective for most of these attacks.
But are these phishing attacks getting more sophisticated?
They are, and crucially, they're becoming more accessible for criminals. Even low-level scammers can now get their hands on tools and kits to launch really convincing fake login pages.
Good enough to fool people.
Good enough to bypass even things like multi-factor authentication sometimes. If they trick you into giving up session tokens or approving a login, they can get full control.
So even MFA isn't foolproof if you click the wrong link.
Right. It just underlines that constant vigilance is key. The barrier to entry for attackers is just incredibly low now. You have to be skeptical.
Okay, so from immediate threats, let's zoom out again for our last point. Let's look at leadership and maybe longer-term industry trends. There's been a big change at Oracle.
Yes, a really significant one. Marianne Davidson, who was Oracle's first ever chief security officer, has retired. She was there for nearly 4 decades.
4 decades, that's basically the entire history of modern enterprise software security.
Pretty much. Her impact was foundational. She really shaped Oracle's product security policies, influenced industry standards. She was the key architect behind their whole unbreakable product branding back in the early 2000s.
Unbreakable Oracle, yeah, I remember that push. Position them as super secure.
Exactly. Her work genuinely shaped how software security is viewed and handled across the tech sector. Though it's worth noting, there was that bit of controversy back in 2015.
Oh, what was that?
She wrote a blog post kind of criticizing customers who actively searched for vulnerabilities in Oracle software, which didn't go down too well with parts of the security community. Shows the complexities of that role, I guess.
Right, balancing corporate messaging and security researcher relations. So her retirement after such a long tenure, does it signal a shift at Oracle?
It definitely seems to align with one. Oracle's making a big strategic push towards AI-driven innovation, and they've restructured their cybersecurity leadership alongside her departure.
Who's taking over the day-to-day?
Robert DeHart is now overseeing the operational side. He was formerly the CISO at Walmart, so brings a lot of experience.
So what does this kind of leadership transition signify for the wider industry, do you think?
Well, a change at the top like this, especially after such a long time, often opens the door for new approaches. We'll likely see fresh perspectives at Oracle on things like cloud security, managing AI risks, making enterprise software more resilient. It reflects the evolving challenges, that modern tech keeps throwing up, the landscape keeps changing.
It really does. We've covered a lot today. From national defense strategies against state attacks,
Through the trust and vulnerability issues facing global tech giants.
right down to the urgent updates needed on your own devices.
And seeing how leadership is shifting within the industry itself. It really shows the sheer breadth of cybersecurity news right now.
Absolutely. And if there's one clear takeaway from all this,
It's that cybersecurity isn't static, is it? It's this constant evolving challenge on multiple levels. It demands vigilance, it demands cooperation globally, and it demands nonstop innovation.
at every single level, from governments down to individuals like you and within companies.
Couldn't agree more.
So that leaves us with a final thought to ponder. as AI becomes this incredibly powerful tool both for defending systems and for attacking them.
And as that line between state-sponsored hackers and regular cybercriminals gets blurrier and blurrier.
What new kinds of digital trust, what new forms of accountability do we need to build collectively to actually safeguard this incredibly connected world we all live in?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Something we'll definitely be exploring more in the future.